Hey guys, welcome back to another Division 2 video. And this weekend is the PTS for the upcoming season, and I wanted to test the couple of items that immediately caught my eye when they were shown in the dev live stream the other day. And that's the new unit alloy brand set, and more specifically the named chest and holster. The chest has a new perfect version of obliterate, and the holster essentially gives you 13% increased rate of fire. Now, naturally, the first thing I did was test it with Striker, and to my surprise, it wasn't as good as I thought, which is actually a good thing, with Striker that is. So let's take a look. Alright, so here is the new brand set. It's called Unit Alloys. It's going to give plus 5% rate of fire, plus 20% assault rifle damage, and plus 50% mag size. And the chest is going to have a named piece. It's called the Equalizer. And this is the one that's going to have the perfect version of Obliterate. So the regular version of Obliterate has 20 stacks, so you can get 20% extra weapon damage. It's now been bumped up to 24 when you run this named chest piece. And then the other piece is a named holster. It's called the Salvo. This is going to have 8% rate of fire. So just by equipping this holster is going to give an extra 13% rate of fire, which is huge because Striker comes with 15. So now you can take this piece and put it on any other gear set and kind of get that equivalent rate of fire increase that Striker has. But with that being said, naturally I wanted to try it out with an all-red Striker build just to see what it can do, because it seems super OP. And to my surprise, it's actually not as OP as I was thinking, which is actually a good thing because Striker doesn't need to be more powerful. So with this quick little test, I got the mask, backpack, gloves, and knee pads of Striker, and then the new Equalizer and the new Salvo knee pads, or holster I mean. So with this setup, I have 55% crit chance and 105% crit damage. And now here is one of the older ways that I used to run this. I would use 4-piece Striker, the Fenris chest for the assault rifle damage, and regular obliterate here. And then I would use the Fox's Prayer knee pads for the damage to targets out of cover. And for this, it has the exact same as the other setup, 55% crit chance and 105% crit damage. So this is one old way I used to run it, and here is another old way that I used to run it. So 4-piece Striker, Fenris, and then the Coyote mask. And for the Coyote mask, since it's a variable damage gear piece, it's hard to make it equal to the other pieces. But I have it at 43%, which is about what I would run it at, because at the mid-range, this would be 53% crit chance and 151% crit damage. So now I'll show you what each of these hit in the firing range. So here's the first new setup with the Equalizer and Salvo. And I've got a Lexington here with Killer and 30 expertise. So let's shoot this target and see what we can get. Build up the Striker stacks. Trigger Killer. And with this setup, 1,496,000. So 1.496. Then let's switch to the old one with Fenris and Fox's Prayer. Build up Striker stacks again. Get Killer up. 1,498,000. So the bullet hits on that one are actually slightly higher. So now let's do the Coyote mask one. So Fenris and Coyote Mask. I'm going to put the target at the mid-range, so at 20 meters. Build up the striker stacks first though. Okay, so at mid-range, 1,580,000 to the head. So this is actually hitting almost 100,000 higher than the new Equalizer and Salvo. So it actually has the weakest bullet damage of these three setups. It's just barely under the Fenris run. So over the Fenris one, obviously you're going to have this rate of fire that's going to add increased DPS. So if you factor that in, I don't know what it would come out to, but I would assume that it's somewhere around the Fenris Coyote setup. So really this doesn't make Striker that much more powerful, if at all, than it already was, which, as I said before, is actually a good thing. The Striker doesn't need to be more powerful than it already is. So I'll have to do a lot more testing with this, but it seems like with this brand set, it can actually be used, whether it's the 1-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece, or this name piece, or the Equalizer, with a lot of the other gear sets to help actually boost them up a little bit without affecting Striker too much. So just off the top of my head, something like Heartbreaker, where it can be kind of hard to build up stacks with the lower rate of fire. So you throw on this holster and it can make it a lot easier to build up your Heartbreaker stacks. Or you could throw the chest and the knee pads on something like a Negotiator build, since the Negotiator doesn't always really need the chest, and then the higher rate of fire will hopefully help you land a few more shots, allowing you to mark the enemies with critical hits easier. But anyway, these are just some of my initial thoughts with the new brand set. I actually think this is one of the most interesting ones we've gotten in a while, and it'll definitely be fun to experiment with these and see if they can help boost up some other builds to at least make them a little closer to Striker. So since I did test this out in a Retaliation with the new Equalizer and Salvo, I'll leave you with a little bit of gameplay just so you can kind of see the damage numbers in an actual gameplay scenario. So anyway, what do you guys think of the new brand set, and what are you excited to use it with? Leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Kill squad incoming. Kill squad down.
Reinforcements en route. Incoming hostiles detected. Heavily armored hostile detected.